Hey guys, this is Doug and Darren with Exploring with Doug and Darren 207. I'm Darren.
And I'm Doug.
And today we're in Phippsburg, Maine, exploring Old Fort Baldwin. It's a little bit of a hike, so we have to hike up this trail right here to the fort. So when we get there, we'll be back. All right, guys, we're back. Doug and I just finished a long hike up this trail, and we finally made it to Fort Baldwin. And Doug is going to tell us a little bit of the history of this place while I go scope it out over here.
The fort was constructed between 1905 and 1912 and originally consisted of 3 batteries. The artillery batteries include Battery Cogan with 2 3-inch M1903 guns on pedestal mounts, named in honor of a lieutenant in the 5th Continental Regiment during the American Revolution. Cogan, who has been a quarter master of the 1st New Hampshire Regiment, died August 21st, 1778.
Hey Doug, let's go check this out.
Okay.
It's a shame that such a historical place is covered up with graffiti.
Yeah, there's a lot of vandalism.
More graffiti than anything. Of course, back in the day, folks, where this fort sits high atop of a hill, they could see down into the Bay of Phippsburg with no problem. But nowadays, with all the trees and everything, you can't see there anymore. An old fireplace. That's pretty cool. The old architecture. Still amounts of graffiti. I wonder what this was. There's bars on the windows. If anybody knows, drop it in the comment. And this room is basically just like the first room. The room itself isn't in bad shape, just a lot of graffiti. By the looks of the ceiling, there have been some bricks falling and whatnot, but other than that, the room looks pretty solid.
Yeah.
Let's go up top and see what we can see. Doug and I like looking at old buildings like this and old historical places and learning about all we can about them.
Careful.
Oh, big spot. Up here, this is where one of their guns would have been mounted.
One of their batteries.
Yeah. And like I said, as you can see, that blue out there on the horizon is actually a part of the Atlantic Ocean and
Part of the Gulf of Maine as well.
a part of the Gulf of Maine. Must have been some pretty big guns. And at the very top of the fort, we have this little lookout area where people would have been in here possibly with guns, looking out over the bay and the water for incoming enemies. of the area from that time period. And right next to this is another battery where they had another gun. Because you got to remember, folks, at that time, all of these trees are not here. You had a clear shot right into the bay. This isn't the only section of the fort. There's a little bit more down the road, which we're going to go check out. Careful of those steps, buddy.
Okay.
Being as old as these are, there's not much stuff left.
Oh!
Yep, be careful. So, when we get to the bottom, we'll be back. So guys, we're halfway between the second section and the third section, and we found this in the woods between the two sections of the fort. It's another battery. See how much it's overgrown. Nature's reclaiming. But we don't have too much further to go. So I will pop on when we get up there. Thank you. Be right back. Hey guys, so we finally made it to the top. And sorry, I'm a little out of breath. I'm old. We're at Battery Harley. I know it would have been a battery there, that building there, but in the background, there's a tower. So after we check out this building, we're going to go over here and see what that's all about. Sorry. Foolish me. Hiking up a mountain and didn't bring a drink. But I'm going to check this out. It looks cool, but it also looks sketchy at the same time. Sketchy.
Sketchy.
Yeah, I think that's going to be my word of the day. Sketchy. Alright. Let's go in.
I wonder what's in here.
Probably. Ooh. Probably just an empty room.
Looks like another passageway.
No, it's just a big room.
Yeah.
It's nice and cool in here. Come on, bud. Let's check out the rest of the fort. Come on.
Okay.
Because we're walking behind these two rooms. That passageway that you just saw would have just brought you out right here. You know, you would have just come through. But at least this way is a little drier. Alright. So I'm sure these two rooms over here were fairly similar to the other ones with fireplaces. I can't foresee that they had this many prisoners, so maybe these were officers' quarters or something. I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't know. Again, this room has a fireplace. It's pretty cool. Again, it's not in bad shape.
Everything is all preserved.
Yeah, it's just graffiti.
There's graffiti all around.
Look at this. There's a wooden block bolted into the wall with the tile brick. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Old door latch I don't know. There's door latches on each side, so I'm not really sure. But I'm curious about this tower structure. What do you think this tower structure was, Doug? I read about it, but I can't remember what it was. It had to have been part of the fort, like some type of lookout.
Yeah, like some kind of tower, maybe.
Because up in the front was all opened on the side that faces the bay. I'd say it's a good 45, maybe 50 feet tall. Sorry I'm blinding you with the sun, guys. But yeah. Feels squatchy out here. Unfortunately, they got it blocked off. You can't go up in it. But it's pretty cool. Leaning way back to see the top, guys.
Yeah.
All right. So this would be the front side. That's where you see the windows. Probably for guys with guns in the very top. Up there, just under the roof line, there's like an observation deck area. Pretty cool, buddy. So guys, again, thank you for watching today. Remember to smash that like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. That helps us more than you know. It'll be able to help us to continue exploring different areas. Doug and I have a lot of plans this summer to do a lot of exploring. And we hope you all continue to follow along. So we will see you on our next great adventure. As always, we wish everybody peace and love. But for now, peace out. Bye, guys.